4 phases, or excuse me, 4 different scenarios. The maps are the different roads that will be done in what we call phase 1, year 1. This is an overall map, just so you can see everything in your district that will be done, color-coded by the years. At the end of the evening, we're going to have you come up, take a look. We're going to be able to answer questions that way. And this is kind of a dot board here. What we're going to do is give each of you 3 dots, and you go up here and put your 1, 2, or 3 preference. This is how we're going to gauge kind of the input, along with the feedback we get through the website, just feedback that we get through Commissioner Maxwell, things like that. So be it you want to see palm trees, and again, knowing that we're balancing the needs of the road program with the money, the funds that are available, be it palm trees, signage, speed reducers, bump outs, anything that to do with this design process. This meeting is to get feedback. The plans, I'll talk in generic terms, the plans are not totally complete yet because we're still in the design phase, getting feedback from the public on this road project. Our next meeting, we'll be back together on July 6th. July 6th, and you will be noticed well in advance of that, mail and door hang. We'll come back, and at that point, we'll tell you, based on the feedback and what we can do, not only balance with the desires of the community, but the needs of the city and the funds available, what you're going to see as the work starts. And then Tom will talk about the construction rollout and the construction timeline from there. So are there any questions on what the objective of tonight is? Again, tonight is to gather information, have you tell us what you want to see, what you'd like to see. You'll be able to hear the timeline, what's going to happen, and then again, we'll reconvene again in this very location on July 6th, and then we'll go from there. So with no further questions, I'd like to bring up Tom Biggs. Thank you.
As Rick said, this is a drawing, an exhibit to depict the road program as it was laid out prior to the bond issue, but in how the road program in District 1 is going to be constructed over time. And so the program established that the yellow streets on this one are the year 1 projects. So we've split the year 1 program into 2 projects, really. These Cochrane 12th Avenue South and South G and 12th Avenue South down on this end are going to be the first project number 1 that comes out. Project number 2 in year 1 is going to be over here on the Sunset Drive area, and the differences are this one has water main improvements that have to go in before the street repaving. These we're just proceeding straight with street repaving. So essentially, these other drawings that give you a depiction of what what we see at this moment in time, at this point, the extents of the improvements. So you can see how the intersections actually are going to be improved, and so there's always what we're doing in each intersection. So at this point, you've probably seen some surveyors out in the neighborhood getting some land surveying information, which is ongoing right now and will be completed soon. We've been out in dry weather. We've been out in the recent rain to document drainage concerns. We're going to take that into consideration. The intent of this program at this point with your project is that by July 6th, we're going to be at a high percentage completion of design, in the 95%. When we meet with you, we're going to show you pretty much exactly what we intend to do. The city then, shortly after that, is going to enter into a contract with the contractor to do the work. The intention is they will probably mobilize and start the work in late August, early September. That's the plan. So with that, I don't think I need to talk too much about it. If you want to come up and look specifically at where your houses are relative to these improvements, you can do that. As Rick said, we want to put some dots on things as to what your priorities would be as you would like them to see if discretionary dollars spent. The basic program is going to be, we're going to fix this, the pavement. We're going to fix sidewalks that are missing and any piece of broken curb. That's the basic program. And then there's going to be, maybe some discretionary money that we're going to have to make last through 4 years of projects to do a few other improvements as we're there. So with that, I think I'll answer any questions you have, and then we'll let you offer opinions.
Is the discretionary money apportioned by quarter, or is it an overall fund, or is it to be worked out?
I think it's to be worked out with the city engineer and the public services staff and program manager. And again, the issues, obviously, health, safety, welfare issues, I think will take precedent over other aesthetic or issues, perhaps. But obviously, we want good roads, safe roads done when this project's done.
Tom, did you touch on how each section was picked based on the PCI or?
Well, I did.
Not to get too.
Yeah, it's a good. There was a report done, prepared prior to the bond issue, which basically assessed every street in the city and ranked them based on pavement condition. PCI was pavement condition index, and basically they looked at a lot of factors. They assigned a number, and then based on that index, these streets were prioritized. So that's how we got to this point. So that pavement condition index established the bond program, was used as a tool to help develop budgets and help identify streets that needed to be worked on.
Can you distinguish between a bike lane and a shared lane for me?
Well, that's an excellent question. I think a shared lane is actually bikes and cars.
Okay.
So it's a bike lane is dedicated just to bikes. A shared lane would be bikes and cars, but part of a bike program. Basically, you have striping in it to give the driving public to know, hey, you're sharing this
For
lane
bike
with
lanes,
bikes.
you're talking about widening a road to add a bike lane.
Yes, or there may be, in some cases, and probably not on any of these, but in some cases, the existing pavement might be wide enough to create a bike lane if you reprioritize. Problems with bike lanes is it impacts parking,
Right.
so you have to take that into consideration.
Can we get a sense of what area, like what road each of you are here and who's going to be impacted by this?
We're 12th Avenue South.
12th Avenue?
I'm at Cochran Drive, right there, and
Okay.
the yellow near the, right there, yes.
That'd be G Street,
Okay.
12.
Thank you.
12th Avenue South.
Thank you.
I'm Cochran too, by Morgan's.
Cochran Drive also, just about the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, Daniel just walked around and gave each of you 3 dots, and really it's mob rule. So if you want to come up, take a look at your maps, but really put your dots on where you think your priority would be. And of course, if everybody goes to palm trees, and we'll of course communicate that to the program managers and say, can we think that we have the ability to put palm trees in there? Now know that this is a wish list and may not be compatible with what we can do based on the funds available, the street itself. Perhaps it's a corner or school zone or something like that. So come up here, take a look at the maps. Any questions, look at the overall map. But really, this is your time to kind of come up and just tell us your 1, 2, 3, your top priorities. And then we'll document all this information, and we'll send it back out when we notify you guys, which will probably be about mid-June for the July 6th meeting. What we'll do is we'll notify you by mail, do a summary of what occurred and what to expect at the meeting coming up on July 6th. Yes, ma'am.
I've seen some streets with like curving around for 3 years. Is that what we're talking about when you say palm trees?
Well, this could be just palm trees like on the right of way, or if you want to see pretty palm trees, right. Or this could be like a cutout.
I get your palm trees later.
But just understand that the funding of this program is primarily for the roads, the repair and the improvement of roads. To put fancy palm trees, dollars may not available. We want to make the needs of the road match the funds that are available.
Yeah, we'll see.
Isn't it overwhelming with everything?
Has it?
Okay.
So next, we'll talk about what we want to do.
Cool. I guess that's my idea.
Yeah, we have some ideas. Cool.
And in the next meeting, we'll follow up with the desires that we've heard. And there's also, tonight's not the only night. If you go to lakeworthroads.com, that website has the ability for you to submit requests and information. And what we'll do when we come back on July 6th and tell you kind of, really, we heard all the input, this is what we can do and why we couldn't put pretty palm trees or we couldn't do tabletops or speed bumps. But this voice will not go unheard. I want you to know that.
No tiki bar, no barbecue grill or something.
Commissioner Maxwell is pulling for that, I think. But
I've got a special guys. We'll get your tiki bar.
Kind of nice on Lake Osmore Drive. You got a tiki bar right there. Just walk down the street.
That is true.
Yeah.
If I walk from where I live,
So right there.
Lake Osborne,
Yeah.
very
So you'll
close
still have access to
to
get out this way.
A nice little tiki bar.
You'll still be drivable.
Yeah.
It's just going to be
County pay for it.
right now.
Penny sales tax.
Once it gets, they'll still be able to drive.
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to be inconvenient.
Just on the maintenance and traffic plan, keep access to the roads.
There's a stop sign here, and one was put here sometime last year or the year before. But I mean, this section, somebody's coming from this way, coming right, and then take the turn here. It's gonna be, the road gonna be marked to make people very confusing sometimes, especially for somebody who does not understand the
The
area.
road signage there is a problem, so, okay. So squared away with everything else. Signage is an issue, you can put a dot on the signage. But I understand what you're saying, so
Yeah.
road signage at the intersection of Ramsey and
Person coming here,
and Cochran.
they have a stop sign and one has one here.
Gotcha.
The person that's coming this way, they might stop here, but then the sign is
I see.
somewhere down here, so there's a big open space here.
I understand the question. So they may stop here, but they may, if they're doing this way, there's not a stop bar or something. The lane, this line is still striking.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it,
It'll pan up on all the TVs. Yeah, and all four of those TVs.
service without
They do that? They may have updated.
Not gonna wipe.
I think they came with
Here in the broken sections.
We used to only have one drop down screen there. That was terrible.
There's a sidewalk right here. That was fine till the railroad came in and kind of stuff down here.
Okay.
They went over it with their,
Yeah.
so if you can go to
Oh,
that
yeah,
and
they
recover
put it on.
for that.
They had an hour
James
line.
Brown's
Yeah.
pictures day after half.
Those are cool.
It's broken up, it's terrible under there. And it's that, it's that heavy duty
And we just did these TVs.
sidewalk.
Oh, months
They just crushed it.
Yeah.
I'll talk to James. Yes.
I don't know what that
There's
comes
a plaque out there.
Well, that's a,
Yes.
it's a maintenance issue, but we can talk,
Where
we can talk.
we should,
Theater.
like we should have
That should be reconverted to theater.
Because sometimes expedient thing is to fix it.
Yes. We can look at for somebody else to build across the street back here as well.
Yes.
We do all that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you go to.
Some street, well,
Out the back.
definitely,
It's like a
secret collector roads, more striking than it is, so you can see the stage. I think
You guys can see
striking
the
is an
stage.
issue
That's what stage is.
that you're concerned about.
It's a huge open space. It's
I
pretty
would
cool.
say,
Yeah.
you know, it's, is there anything? Well, no, if you, is, what street do you live on? You live on Concord? Yeah, so you're concerned about striping in Concord? We'll look at that. Well, you do on collector roads, but you don't necessarily neighborhood streets. Yeah, but I would, if there's two striping right now. But usually it's on the neighborhood street, you
Maybe those thin pavement things.
One of my concerns regarding speed reducers, they just did, I don't know if you guys were in on the Barton Road thing.
We were not, but
They
I
put,
know about
where
it.
there used to be humps,
Mhm.
there are now gentle rises in elevation made to not bother anybody.
They're not as
Did you want on
effective.
that street?
I do not think they are effective.
Oh.
I mean, they're nice.
Yeah,
Don't bother my car.
we're looking at actually addressing that on Barton as well as Tropical, adding traffic calming on Tropical Drive too.
Okay.
Because now there's no potholes, it's a beautiful road to cruise on, so people want to speed, so we're looking at addressing that.
Just like nothing.
Yeah, when they repaved the roadway, they didn't mill out that area, so they basically just paved over the speed hump, leveled it out. So yeah, we're looking to address that.
Yes, Mr. Maxwell.
Question, is this the appropriate place to talk about the overall initiative to reduce or eliminate through traffic? There's a real problem with
Truck traffic?
trucks, cars, I don't know where they're cutting through or where they're going,
Sure.
but they're coming through the neighborhoods. And is this an opportunity for us to
Well-
have, is this the proper venue to have this conversation?
Sure.
As far as the comprehensive, no-through traffic type signage?
From looking at, obviously, there's a couple segments here, but as a holistic, and you see the map, the one with all the colors on it, we can look at something holistically for the entire area that we can implement throughout the years, from a maintenance standpoint from us, also from a project standpoint, incorporate some design features that could
I
help with
think that, for example, Cochrane, northbound, you get up to Bar Pine,
Mhm.
you got that dog leg to the left and the jog to the right.
Yeah.
That's got to be a cut through for folks
Mhm.
trying to get to 6th Avenue South.
It is. I see trucks.
That's a good one, I use that.
What's that? I'm sorry?
I use that.
Do you really? Not anymore. I'm just thinking, there's got to be some way, I don't know how you enforce it. That's a
Yeah.
real concern of mine too, but
Yeah.
I've noticed just a lot of people, I don't know when they're going in such a rush, but they feel compelled they gotta cut through the neighborhoods. And I think
Sure.
we need to come up with some sort of a system or a plan to kind of slow that down, particularly the trucks. I don't see that there's any practical reason why an 18-wheeler has to come through that neighborhood.
No.
Wow.
Yeah,
Are they avoiding going out around Lake Osborne Drive because of the low overpass at 6?
I'm sorry?
They may be avoiding going around Lake Osborne to Lantana.
You're exactly
Well,
right,
they shouldn't
yeah.
be going around the
Probably.
lake. I mean,
They can't go around the lake
Because it's
because of the low overpass.
Yeah, it's super low, it's like 13.6, I want to say, it's really low.
11.6.
It's 11.6, so
and
even lower.
speaking of,
That's-
Felipe, speaking
Yeah.
of Bar Pine, and not to open up another can of worms here,
Mhm.
those two little streets there at the end of Cochrane that touch Bar Pine.
Yeah.
One's a dead end, one goes on the 6th Avenue South. Both of
Right.
those
Bad.
are really bad, they're not even on the list.
Yeah, right is horrible.
What's up with that?
They're not.
I mean, they're not,
Are they
they're
not
gone,
here?
they look like bombed out streets.
Are they on the blue,
They're,
in the map there? Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
there.
Oh, are they on there?
they're on the
Next-
program,
oh,
they're
next
just
year.
out in it out year.
Year
Okay,
2.
is that year 2?
Yeah, the blue is year 2,
Barber
right?
and
That's actually year 3.
Yeah, year 2, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Confused all these
Those
colors.
will be fully reconstructed for sure.
Another
We're actually
thing
year
I'm
3,
concerned,
preferably
setting
year
a
3,
speed
so
bump
if
all
we-
over the
if
We
city.
you
may,
want to,
we may like to bump those
you
up.
want to move them up,
Yeah,
we can talk about that.
exactly.
Another concern about setting up speed bump all over the city, it's basically going to eat up all the fun. Instead, why don't you try to get the sheriff involved once every month or every other month, set up speed traps. That should eliminate half of the problem.
Yeah, we do that a lot, proactive with PBSO, but the issue is the officers that are dedicated to Lake Worth, they actually they're not traffic officers. They have a very distinct pool of traffic issuing police officers that are throughout the whole county. So they don't dedicate those to Lake Worth only. Like, so the normal police that you see driving the streets, they're not issuing citations or doing speed traps. They have to schedule that with these guys, and usually they schedule out a month out, 2 months out. So it's tough to get them locked in to do that. You're exactly right. It sounds like it doesn't make sense, but it's a manpower issue, unfortunately. The policemen we have, they're more concerned with the heavy crime versus the speeding crimes. So we kind of get,
That is an understandable issue, but if that's becoming a problem, if we have a fund actually to improve the city, instead of wasting majority of the fund putting speed bump, that's not going to resolve our issue. Regardless, they're going to speed to the next speed bump. So the best thing is to basically try to eliminate the issue, because once they know it might be a trap, then they'll hesitate to speed next time. That would be our best solution.
I don't think that speed traps stop people, because they either don't know they're there. If they know they're there, they take another way.
But the whole thing is element of surprise.
But you don't want to catch people speeding. You want them not to speed.
But I do understand.
I'm just saying that. Look,
Yeah,
I understand
do
your point of view.
understand that, but we have a fund that basically we're trying to make the most out of it. But if we sit there actually trying to put speed bump all over the city, when we look at the fund that we have, it'll be all gone. Didn't accomplish nothing but a bunch of speed bump. But if we could actually eliminate the portion of the speed bump, and knowing that they know it's basically, I have properties in Lantana also. They don't have speed bump. What they actually did, it eliminated certain street. They basically, they became dead. They put traps basically where, to the point, if you don't live there, you don't even take it as a traffic street. That's another thing that we could think of instead of putting speed bump all over the place.
If I may, we used to put a traffic calm street, or fines will be, double, and this calm zone. I mean, I don't know what is the price of speeding, in the street now. They want 180.
These are all great comments that will be collected and presented not only to the city commission, but through all. And this is just District 1, so there'll be 2, 3, and 4. So throughout this process, we'll come up, and if there's sentiment to do that, this may not be the venue to enforce that, but your comments are heard, documented, and will be presented to the city council.
Or even if we don't have the manpower, even set up the vehicle.
I have one more comment to your point. I proposed to the city commission, and I think this will help us with some of our traffic concerns, that we install license plate readers at all the entrances to the city. That's going to significantly reduce the number of knuckleheads that come into our city for whatever reason they're coming in here that they shouldn't be here. And I think that I notice a lot of folks are just zipping through these streets, and they really don't look like they belong here. And I'm hoping that maybe if we could adopt, and get some of those license plate readers installed, that some of the folks that are coming from out of the city will no longer come into the city. If they've got an expired tag, or they're for warrant for their arrest, or it's a stolen vehicle, or no insurance, whatever the case may be, then the sheriff's going to nail them when they come into the city. So I think that'll cause a chilling effect and keep the number of people that are coming into the city, and that's going to help us with some of our traffic issues around the city, I believe.
I think that Lake Shore also have the same issue. Also, I think it becomes another legal issue. That's something that basically we might run into a legal issue.
We'll take care of that. We're not going to do anything illegal. I can assure you license plate readers are very legal.
I am in hope that we'll find a way to slow the traffic on 12th Avenue South, which is a speedway. People come off I-90, off US 1, and they hit, and they're on their way to Lake Osborne, and they don't particularly notice that there are several of us living in between, and they're trying to walk across that street is taking your life in there, because they come so fast. There's a lot of traffic on the street. As they said, also trucks and things that don't quite belong there.
And while we're talking about this, I know you've got the board there with the dots, and this is kind of a general 30,000-foot wish list. But I know specifically there's been some concerns about 12th Avenue South down around Barton. I know we talked about this earlier tonight, Tom. So I don't know if specifically you want to take notes for that stretch of road there at 12th Avenue South.
No.
Because of its proximity to the school and K Street, and but that I would think that area right there really could use some serious opportunities to slow traffic down. If
Felipe and Richard and I have already had brief discussion on that earlier this week. So.
Yeah, it's funny, we had a traffic calming study that was done by Keith and Schnarr back about a year ago now, as well as a recent study, and it actually found that their 85 to 85th percentile is kind of what the threshold is, that actually everybody is abiding by the speed limit over there. So we're finding through all these traffic studies we're doing throughout this program that actually there's not a lot of speeding. What may appear to be, you have the outlier, one out of 100 cars, or whatever it may be. So we got to be careful, because there's a legal precedent, there's legal issues that get involved when we start, like this gentleman said, we start throwing speed humps at every intersection. Legally, there's some things there if there is no need for it, via data.
To his comment about speed traps, I can tell you that the sheriff's office, I think it is our group of sheriff deputies, they always seem to have a little something going under the underpass there at 95.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's there, so when I'm westbound, you can't see them sitting under the underpass till you come up with the crest of that hill. So
Sure.
I'm very careful about, cruising through.
Yeah, they're there twice a month.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
That's very effective.
And Felipe, I would not contend that people are necessarily speeding along 12th, but that the volume has increased greatly since the Gateway projects
Sure.
and the Lantana Bridge.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not discounting. I'm just,
So the volume has changed on that road in ways that are to those of us who live there, very evident.
sure.
And also, there is no stop sign all along 12th to Dixie. There's nothing there.
Sure.
And because of the north-south roads are offset in that odd way, there are very few appropriate places for stop signs. And we've been in discussions with Commissioner Maxwell and stuff about this. The East Street would be a place where I would put one, because that square there, that's by that little convenience store and laundromat. And I think my favorite part.
Yeah, we're looking for alternative options in lieu of stop signs. It actually was not recommended by all the professionals that do this. We're looking at other ideas, center islands, choker sections, stuff that gives the visual appearance of a road that's not 50 feet wide. That actually it's decorative. It'll be stamped concrete or something decorative, say in a median island that you may see on like a county road or something like that. So we're looking at those options with the engineer, with Tom and his team. To do those, incorporate those features that not only beautify, but also act as traffic calming, and they're not speed humps. Because you have PBSO, you have fire, you have school buses, you have Palm Tran, it's a collector road. There's all these factors that go into play that those sort of things don't make sense for when you're looking at collector roads, So we're definitely looking at it from all angles. We're trying to get creative. With things, obviously the program is meat and potatoes, like Tom said, with the pavement and curbing and sidewalks, but we do have a little money in there for other features.
One of the issues I've also heard is that there's one of the major bus stops. If you're at the south end and you're going to take the bus north, you're going to go to A Street in front of the church there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're crossing over from south of 12th to north of 12th. There's no really good, safe place. And as you said, Commissioner Maxwell, because of the hill there,
Sure.
You can't really cross over at A Street. You're right
Sure.
at the top of the hill. People are coming up from both directions.
Yeah, that's fantastic
so
feedback to look at doing something. They illuminated pedestrian signs that are solar powered, something that we could do to alert people who are coming over that hill that, hey, there's a pedestrian crossing here. Give more visual effects, so we'll definitely look at doing something like that at that intersection.
Yeah, and also one of the assets of that street is the north median is very wide.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some historical plantings there that are nice, but it may be that throwing ideas about that in the mix.
Sure.
Something visible there that made people think it wasn't a wide open area.
Mm-hmm.
I can see something, I don't know what, but
Sure.
people who work on roads, I'm sure do.
Yeah, so we have the team, they're very good and already at work at it.
Wide swale, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your input. Again, next meeting will be July 6th, about mid-June. We'll send out a mailing. In that mailing, it'll notice what's going to be happening in the meeting. We'll also summarize the comments. We do have comment cards, but I think due to the size of our crowd, I think I recorded everybody's comment. If you'd like to take one, you can gladly take one and bring it back to us, or go to lakeworthroads.com There's an opportunity there. You can go and click and submit any information, any question that you have. Again, tonight's was to kind of tell you what to expect in the coming weeks and the coming months. Hopefully we gave you some information that when you leave here tonight, you know more than when you got here, so it wasn't a waste of your time. But we're going to be doing this throughout all of the different communities and the districts. Again, we'll be getting back together on July 6th. Your feedback, your comments, if they could have been incorporated, we'll communicate that to you. And if it isn't, or we couldn't do it, we'll let you know why. Financial issue, or as Felipe said, perhaps can't do that on the collector road, but there's other things that we're doing and other options. So we do listen to everything that you say. This will be recorded, will be uploaded to the website, so you can go back and listen to it again. We just want to make sure that we're providing you all the information in a timely and efficient manner, and know that you can get hold of us on the door hangers. There's a telephone number. You can also go to lakeworthroads.com. Get back the information to us, and attend that lakeworthroads.com has the meeting schedules for all the districts. So if you want to attend just to hear something else from a different district, while it may not be your road specifically, if you want to find out what's going on in the other parts of the city, please do. Commissioner Maxwell, anything before we go?
No, I just want to thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. And please encourage your neighbors, for the next meeting. Tell them what you've heard and seen tonight, and say, hey, come on out. Let's make this pie perfect. This cake perfect.
And Commissioner Robinson, thank you for being here, and to staff as well. Yes, sir.
I want to thank you all. I mean, the priority, like I said, it's sidewalks, paving, and lighting. And maybe in some places with this one. I want to thank you because basically what you lay out, what are the basic needs that we need in our city, in our neighborhood. So I like what I heard, so I bring that back to some of my neighbors around, so that's encouraging. So, I mean, I basically fulfill the plate, basically, but hopefully we'll see that.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening.
If you don't move that couch tomorrow, I will.
See it in my living room. Look at the couch.